Yeah, with respect to all of these good guidelines for designing safe public spaces, but it sounds that we cannot be sure that we'll definitely be in a safe public space by just following these guidelines. And so that's the reason that I would like to just concentrate for a moment for the social structure and social aspects of the place. As Peter said, it seems that the female are one of the main vulnerable people in the public spaces. And so based on this, there is a lot of research and studies about how women and what's the factors that influence the experiencing not being secure in public spaces. And it sounds that the social relations, it means that who is the users of the place and what sort of activities that are happening there is influence the women's perception. And these kind of research and studies not just about how women feel in this place. It's about our young people as well and what's their perception about safety in public spaces. And more importantly, about the ethnic groups, because especially I think in the places like Melbourne with diverse population and people from different society and different ethnic groups, it is very crucial to understand when starting to design a public space what's the perception of these groups about safety and what makes them to feel included in public space. That's why we design safe public space. We want people to come in the place and interact. And so it's very crucial to understand why exclude some of the people from the place and don't feel safe about that. Very recently, Moreland City Council had done a research in collaboration with RMIT University and had the comparison between Faulkner and Coburg, and to understand how employment and housing, in fact, in the social cohesion. There is a lot of themes that address in this research, but I just bring two types of narratives. This is similar narrative with a number of the Anglo-Saxons or Australian females in Coburg that they feel more unsafe these days because they feel that the place is more man-dominated and have some kind of activities that they feel and experience unsafe. It sounds like it doesn't related to the design of these places. It's just about the perception and how the social condition and social relation of the place has been changed. On the other hand, I don't know if you know Faulkner. Faulkner is a suburb in north of Moreland, is where it had a large number of Muslim community. And maybe some of the public spaces in Faulkner doesn't seem very designed well for the safe places, but it sounds, again, based on these social relations, people, Muslim women in Faulkner feel more safe in their neighborhood rather than the outside. Having the number of groups of people that they can relate to them, having a number of religious institutions, and the places, and the most importantly, the places that give them the opportunity to come and integrate with the other groups of people had made them the feel of safety. But the thing that I would like to more talk about today is a project that has been done by Moreland City Council and is a kind of alternative approach to improve the social safety and feeling of safety in one of the shopping strips. Justin Avenue is a shopping strip in north of Moreland in Glenroy suburb, and it was selected for improvement in financial year 2012 to 13. One of the main issues with this area was that this area is experienced high rate of violence and crime and well known for drug dealing. That was one of the main perception about this place when the project was started. And similar to the other a lot of shopping district, it doesn't have an attractive appearance and streetscape. When the project started, from 13 shops, just 4 of them were active. I can say this was the type of the shops that they were working there. And one of the other features in this place was the high number of social housing. These orange blocks that you can see all are the social housing places in the 400 catchment of the shopping strip. Based on the feedbacks that Moreland received from the institutions that were working there, specifically Mary Community House, it shows that there is very low connection, social connection between the people, and there is no willing for coming to the place and integrated with the other groups. And in this area, there is very poor access to public transport. That's another factor that doesn't make the place very desirable to use. But at the same time, there is a good opportunity. In the walking distance, there isn't any other shopping strip. So it seems that if these local shops would be active, they can attract a lot of people from the neighborhood. And there's a very good reserve exactly in front of this shopping strip. That this reserve, it has good condition in terms of the landscape. But again, because of this perception of crime and this social condition that was in the place, it wasn't used. We were told that it has some kind of playground sometimes before, but it was in the subject of the vandalism, as it wasn't there anything. And again, in addition to these social housing, these blue blocks are the new development there. So it seems that some new developments are happening there. So it may bring some more opportunity for working in this shopping strip. So one of the main objectives in this project was changing the perception of the place and improve the public safety and improve the community engagement. That was really this project needs before any other task. And the urban design group understand that this project cannot be successful just based on the regular physical improvement that had been done before for the other shopping strip. So by the approval of Moreland Executive Group, part of the budget was allocated for activation of the place rather than putting whole of the budget for the physical improvement. And a steering committee established by the Moreland groups, because normally the shopping strips was designed and improved by the urban design groups, economic development and social development, but the other groups internally was involved in this project, and more importantly, external groups like the Glenroy Secondary College. It's a college close to the shopping strip, and the urban design group had a good conversation with them, and they were very keen to work with the Moreland because they were looking especially for some of the social disadvantaged groups that they had in their school. They look for some kind of activities that they can have after school or within their time in the school. And for Moreland, it was important to be engaged with some local institution and work with them to bring this spirit to the neighborhood. There is something happening in the place and bringing the people to this shopping strip. Many community health services are very active. They have some nurses that work specifically with the social groups. So they were very helpful for engaging with these people that they're living in this area and bring them to the place. Police Victoria and Department of Human Services as well, they gave me a lot of good information and active in this project. Based on the budget and the opportunities that was there, the external area started to be improved physically, and at the same time, the open space group started to do some upgrades in the reserve. And a street party was planned for this area, and some works in collaboration with the youth services, some artists, and Glenroy Secondary School, some artworks happened in the local services. The community consultation also happened there, and it sounds that the personal safety and antisocial behavior was one of the main concerns for the people that they involved in the community consultation. But it's very obvious that in this kind of situation, you cannot just rely on the outcomes from community consultation, because if you do it in a regular basis, that do in some other places, like, I don't know, I don't want to name any place, but the places that people are really willing to be consultant. So it was not the case here. So few people come for consultation, but it was not just the result that you can rely. So the design concept was improving some seats and landscapes in the place, and this is the example of the painting, the lower shutters by the Glenroy students and the artists and youth, in the help of the youth services from Moreland City Council. The community event happened just a couple of, exactly a month ago in the reserve. And it sounds that it was a successful thing, a party there, and a number of people just went there, and it shows from the number and the variety of the people that they were there, so you could see that it started, something happened in this place. And we had Police Victoria there. But very importantly, this street party was a start and the launch for a type of a community engagement program that's run by economic units in Moreland City Council, that they work with the different groups of people with different programs that they started from 10th of October, and it's an ongoing project. And these kind of programs happening mostly in the reserve in front of the shopping strip. And they just try to not just, as usual, do the improvement and leave the place. Moreland City Council wanted to stay there and continue to activate the place and make it more safe and bring more people to the place. And if you have a look at the program, you can see that how different groups of people are targeted for this kind of program. And the main message is that with respect for all of these physical improvement, we really need to understand what's the perception, how are the users of the place, and what's the perception about the place, and try to bring the people in the place and activate them and involve them in the place, and just change this feeling of they are the others, or the place is for others, is a place for us. One of the important things that I wanted to say, that this project is an ongoing project, and definitely it needs to be assessed after a while. But at this stage, we can see some good improvement. First of all, the number of vacant shops have dropped from 9 to 5 in 1 year. I know that if you have done some works in the shopping strips, you can see there's a good achievement. Activate 4 shops, it means activate the place and bring more and more people in the area. And because of these programs and all of these improvement in the place, socially and physically, this place has attracted more people.